All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Triple P podcast. We talk about everything in peace, prosperity, and progress. And today is the first episode on the new camera, man. So I hope y'all like that. I'm definitely liking it so far. So we went and filmed another video. But anyway, not going to get into too much of that. But pick the topic for today's video. Bet y'all weren't expecting that. We're normally all over the place.
Yeah, we're normally free-flowing topics, but now we got the topic.
So I just wanted to do a topic today because I was like, you know what? We haven't done a solo episode, like just me and Nick, in forever. Like it's been what?
Since
second
before
episode?
before the 10th episode, before even the 5th episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, after I think episode 4, we definitely haven't done.
No, we've done guest episodes ever since like episode 4 to episode like now. Well,
Yeah.
Before today, like episode 24? What is it? What are we on?
We're on 22 today,
22.
I believe. Either 21 or 22. It's hard to keep up with.
It's hard to keep up, man.
Because we didn't get to film one last weekend. We're actually filming this shit on a Thursday this week. Or a Wednesday? It's a Wednesday.
Who
But
knows
anyway,
what day it is
so
anymore?
I'm going to get to it because I've been rambling already too much. But so we're going to get into urban legends today. I got a list of a couple urban legends, and then I got some more in my head. And I'm just basically going to explain them to Nick when they were originated, a little bit about them. And he's going to tell us whether he thinks that they're capped or there's any truth to them, and what he thinks about them, if he's ever possibly seen one. And hell yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing, this isn't really a region-specific one. I asked it to give me like the state, but it's basically like a worldwide thing, the vanishing hitchhiker. So like, all right, so this one is basically a driver picks up a quiet hitchhiker, usually a young woman in white. She gives an address, but mysteriously vanishes from the back seat before arriving. When the driver checks the address he was given, they're told she died years ago, usually in a car accident near the road.
See, I feel like I've heard about this before, like back when I used to watch them YouTube videos about the scary stories people been through on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, if I picked up somebody, right, and they just vanished from my car, and then I called the police like, hey, yo, I picked up somebody, and they just gone. And then they tell me, that person, they ain't here, and they've been arrested, they've been gone. Like, they've been dead for 50, 60, 100 years. I'm like, you serious, right? Like, I done picked up a dead woman, I've been flipping out. Especially, I'm driving on the road, I see somebody, thumb sticking out. Most of the time, if it's late at night, it's right.
No.
I ain't picking up nobody late at night. They could be Jim Bob with a chainsaw coming over here doing some Texas Chainsaw Massacre on me.
I ain't picking up nobody.
Turning me into leather furniture. You know what I'm saying? Leather furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about making me into a skin suit. I'm good. But like, especially if Heather in her all white nightgown wants to pick me up and turn me into her beet juice for her little, I don't know, her little rugrats running around. I'm good, Heather. You can stay on the side of the road type stuff, you know what I'm saying?
But do you think that actually happens? Like,
I
you
think
believe the urban legend or no?
Okay, did she actually disappear?
Well, like, this isn't
Probably.
one occurrence. Like, this is, like, happens apparently all over the highways all across America.
I think road hallucination is a big thing. Like,
good point.
because when you get delirious on the road, you can start seeing stuff. Like, because I've been driving late at night before. I mean, you get tired and you have to drive. You know what I'm saying? Or you drive for a long time, like hours at a time, 8, 9, 10 hours. And like, you're not taking shifts with nobody or something. Say you're driving somebody who can't drive, or you're driving somebody and you got to switch. But if there's no switch, you're driving for, 12, 14, 16 hours. And if you're driving on a narrow, boring, desolate dirt road or something, like next to a cornfield or some kind of field or something, you might mistake something as a hitchhiker. And you might think, well, that person got in my car, but they never did get in your car. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I have heard stories of truckers saying, like, when they were out late at night and coming back home from, like, a 12, 14-hour long drive, that they'd see things on the road. But I feel like the specifics of, like, a figure getting in your car and then disappearing, I don't know. Like, that's one that I'm more leaning towards it being a true urban legend versus something that actually ever occurred. But honestly, I don't know, because it's always possible. It's always possible.
I say it could definitely be true, because like I said, when you get on the road late at night, you start
Well,
hallucinating.
see, but
You have
wouldn't
no
that make
idea.
it false because it's not actually supernatural? That's just like delirium.
Well, either way, delirium and
I mean,
on the road, you don't. I mean, if you can tell the story, then surely
I guess
something
it
about
happened
it
for
happened.
you.
It happened for you, and if other people told the story the same way, hey, who am I to say you're wrong?
So this next one, I don't really need to actually explain this one because you already know. It was first introduced in the early 1960s, which I was shocked by because I was thinking, I mean, the tale of this does go back way further, which I'm not going to delve into that on this. But Bloody Mary, okay. So, obviously, the classic childhood tradition of standing in front of the camera, saying her name 3 times, and she appears. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think that, have you ever tried that?
I
before?
did, yeah. Me and my cousins used to try it in the bathroom mirror all the time.
Did it ever actually give you that experience?
We got scared, like hella scared, and I wouldn't say we got an experience from it. No,
So-
it might have been because none of us truly believed in it, because our parents or like who we grew up with never believed in it. But I would say if you're like in a superstitious household, it probably you could get something from it.
Well, I will say I never like personally fully tried this because I was one of them people that heard an experience. This experience I'm about to tell you guys actually scared me away from doing it. I had a homie that tried it with a few of his friends. Don't keep it short. But essentially, they tried it, and then when he came out the bathroom, I wasn't there to witness this, so it could have been Cap. But he claimed and showed me the scars and everything, dude. Like, he had claw marks down his back. Like, red claw marks,
What?
like, bleeding a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, after doing the challenge.
No,
Yeah.
like straight up,
Like,
deep,
straight
like
up.
deep.
And
claw
he said
mark?
he felt it, too. And it, like,
Oh.
yeah. And you know who it was, too. I ain't gonna even say it
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah,
here.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
yeah, man. Crazy. So, I think that's one that definitely
I've heard.
has some
I used to
truth.
watch a lot of them, but like whenever I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of them
Mhm.
YouTube videos. People going in, and now obviously they probably did that for views. But
I don't think you can catch one. That's one of them things. I don't think you do it on camera, it'll work for you.
I don't think-
I think
no, I
you
don't
have
think
to
it
be
will.
alone, and I think you like it's not gonna work in a school bathroom. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's not
Like
gonna work in public. It's not
Mhm.
gonna work with too many people. It's not gonna. It'll work in a desolate area, like in your house, like in a bathroom, or it might work like in a far corner, off somewhere, like anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But it's got to be desolate, away from a whole bunch of people, not in public. It can't work in public. There's no way.
I don't think so. It's too busy. But so Bloody Mary, I think we both agree. It depends.
I think it
Um,
depends on your level of superstition and your level of belief in it before you do it.
So this one, like, I honestly would have never thought of this. I just found this on the list, and I think it's honestly a pretty interesting one because I knew about this, but I haven't thought about it in forever. But this is
Mhm.
actually a really good story. So, like, the Hook Man. And
Oh.
essentially what that is, the story behind it is a couple's parked in a car when a radio bulletin warns about an escaped mental patient with a hook for a hand. And then spook, they drive off, later to find a hook dangling from the car handle, or the door handle, suggesting that they narrowly escaped.
No.
So like, with that one, I don't really know if there's any meat to that to say, yeah, that's true, or
I think
that
there's
sounds
more potatoes than meat to that.
Yeah,
But
that's
like
a
you
cool-
can eat the fries on that one.
Mm.
But I think the escaped mental patient thing has happened a lot
Yes.
before
Yes.
they started getting like way higher security in those places.
Mhm.
Because before they put them in there, they had like 2 security guards for like 400 mental patients.
Yeah, it
So-
was crazy understaffed in some.
Yeah,
of those
and that's
places.
also where they got the Michael Myers thing from.
Mhm.
He was a mental patient in one of those
Mhm,
big old
mhm.
conglomerate
True.
like the big old places in a facility where they had like 4 security guards underneath a watch of a scientist, and he would only come in once a day or twice a day to talk to him. After that, he was gone. He didn't have any connection with him throughout
the
the
thing
day.
is, this legend is from the 1950s, so your point's actually pretty valid there because back in the
Yeah.
50s, that probably really did happen a lot.
Dude,
I don't know about
swear.
the hook hand, but there was definitely some crazy motherfuckers.
Okay,
getting
there was
out of it.
there was probably some validity behind that because prosthetics. I don't think they were that big of a
You probably did have to have a hook back
Yeah,
then,
you
bro. I don't
probably
think they
did.
had like the silicone,
And depending on his age, he might not have had, and especially because he was in a mental institution, he might not have had the financial resources to get a better prosthetic. And since he was in an institution, they might have just gave him whatever they had whenever he went to go get a prosthetic. And he might have committed a crime.
Mm.
So whenever he went to go get his prosthetic, it's like, well, you're a criminal. We're not going to give you something good. And back in 1950s, it's way different. 70 years ago.
True.
Nowadays, if you go into a mental institution, they might give you something good because they don't want you killing somebody. But I don't know, a hook hand in a mental institution back then, I could say that's probably, I believe that. Now, narrowly escaping it after hearing the radio bulletin, I also believe that because people's luck be crazy.
I mean, the world crazy scenarios happen where you're like, there ain't no way that lined up.
And also, I wouldn't even be surprised if they, like, somewhere in that story they recounted seeing somebody in their rearview mirror as they flew off.
Well, speaking of crazy things, this next one I got for you is one that I've only heard of a few times, and I didn't even know it was like a widely known thing. Like, I was surprised to see it on here. But the Bunny Man, okay? And this is
Bunny Man.
So this is a story that originated in 1970 from Fairfax County, Virginia. Shout out.
Shout out, Virginia.
Okay, so apparently a man in a bunny costume appeared near a bridge wielding an axe, threatening people, and even attacking cars. The story evolved into a tale of an escaped mental patient. Here we go again. Living in the woods, haunting the Bunny Man Bridge, which is apparently a bridge in Virginia. We might have to go there eventually.
We're going to have to scout out the Bunny Man Bridge.
Let us know we need to hop on to Virginia. I got some family in West Virginia, bro. 2 birds, 1 stone. Hey.
2 birds, 1 stone. We have to do some interviews in West Virginia and then go to the Bunny Man Bridge in Virginia.
Mm-hmm. But, so what you think about the Bunny Man? This one I ain't gonna lie. I called cap on this shit.
See, here's another one. What time zone was it?
The 70s? I mean...
Okay, the 70s was crazy. People were on drugs all the time. The black market was booming. You get out of the mental institution, you instantly know you can grab something. Especially in...
bunny costume?
It's called Bunny Man Bridge! You know what I'm saying? You could probably find a bunny costume.
But was it called that before, or is it called that now?
Okay, that's something we need to know. True. Because if it was called Bunny Man Bridge before, he might have known that beforehand. And then maybe he was scouting the place out as a kid, got locked up in the mental institution because he was way too crazy, and then he got out, and he was like, you know what? I hate these people. I'm going to pick up an axe from the hardware store, going to the party store, grabbing a costume, and I'm going to sit next to this bridge and wait for some college students or some teenagers and go, whack. Whack, you know what I'm saying?
That's wild. The way you find some college students.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
But it's the thing, though. And also, you said West Virginia, right?
No, Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of crazy stories about bridges and mountains and just random abandoned places in those areas.
I will say Virginians are known crazy people a lot of the time.
They also live in very desolate areas back then.
Yeah.
Because over the last like 50 years, Virginia, Nebraska, a lot of those farming countries have turned from farming countries into like more adapted civilization. Like they become bigger cities. They become more, I hate to say this, but more business related.
Yeah, more like gentrified, and that's the word for it really, is just gentrification, like making it modern and making it like suitable for the younger generation to come in and want to like work there and live there, you know.
That's also more people to move in instead of people wanting to move out.
I mean, like, not to get too far off topic, but I mean, look at Huntsville. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over the past 100 years, even the past 20 years, it's been gentrified to hell and back. I mean, and that's for the good. It was for the better. It needed it.
But, it definitely needed it because I remember like 60, 70 years ago, a lot of people I talked to who lived in there since like 60, 70 years ago said there was like nothing, literally nothing in Huntsville. It was barren. Which I think is crazy, because 60, 70 years ago, it ain't that long ago.
If you look at pictures of it from back then, even, you can see where, like, it's just a lot of farmland. You know, they didn't have the overpasses, even the, like, main road on, even the parkway. I don't even know when the parkway was built, but...
They probably had the bridges to connect from over the Tennessee River, but Other than that, they probably had a bunch of split roads off.
Yeah,
Like they probably had a main road.
Probably dirt roads and shit too.
Yeah,
maybe not in the 70s, but like if we're talking, yeah. Anyway, back on topic. That was just a little tangent for y'all. But so I don't really exactly know how to say this. I think it's Kuchisake Onna, the slit mouth woman. Have you heard of this one before?
I heard of that one before.
So basically,
they made games about that, I think.
Yeah, so basically, like a woman in a surgical mask approaches his people. Like basically, it's normally children, but I guess like it can be adults. With the legend is based on her walking up to children, basically saying, "Am I pretty?" And if you say no, she, you know what I'm saying?
She goes,
and if you say yes, she removes the mask, revealing a grotesque slit from ear to ear, and then attacks. So this is a little international one for us. This one was obviously based in Japan, if you couldn't tell by the name.
The name is not American, of course.
But so, what do you think? What do you take from that one? Where do you think, or what do you think might have even sparked that?
I would say a lot of people's creativity and imagination is very heightened when on any sort of like psychoactive material. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Like if they've been, especially in Japan. Japan is it's been thriving for years. You know what I'm saying? And not to hit on something I don't necessarily know about, but the black market in Asia has been kind of crazy.
Bro, and you don't have the FBI on us all these black market mentions. We don't know nothing about that,
I don't know nothing about it. But I've heard crazy stories about people being able to get whatever they want, from wherever they want. Because, they also live next to ports. Japan is next to a whole bunch of ports. But either way, chop that away. That leg is dead. Anyway, the woman, people could probably deliriously say that a woman had a smile ear to ear. But it also, makeup. You know what I'm saying? Makeup could have been
I do want to also add, this was back in the 70s. I don't know if Japan, and also it's apparently like this happened to children, but the thing
children have a crazy imagination.
Here's the thing though. I don't understand how stories like this could possibly even be true, because either way you look at it, or I guess maybe like somebody saying they ran across this woman and they said, yes, she is pretty. But how would they know that she kills you if you say no? Because nobody lived to tell that tale.
Lived to tell the tale unless somebody got away.
Unless
there was a group of them. But then again, if there was a group of them, she would know immediately. Because if she's starting to kill people, she would keep a count.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably go one by one anyway. Probably target kids that were not with their parents.
Exactly. She wouldn't be targeting groups of people.
I think maybe this is one that, because apparently
I think it might have been a thing. It might be stretched, to make you feel like it's a big thing.
Well, it was from the 70s and then resurfaced in the 2000s in Japanese media. So I think maybe with the introduction of but that's the part that messes with me. If it was from the 2000s, I would immediately say it was Japan's response to creepypastas becoming popular on American forums. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when before YouTube even started, and there was video versions, there was creepypastas being posted on 4chan and Reddit and all this. And that Slender Man, one of them, I was going to go over him, but I feel like I'm not going to really touch creepypastas. Because I don't really count that as urban legends.
It's not necessarily an urban legend. It's more like
stories,
It's
true stories. Which, the ones I mentioned are also very much so tall tales. A lot of them. But I could also see how they could be true. Maybe not to the entirety of the legend. But I could definitely see where that happened to somebody and it was so intense that in the moment they thought they saw certain things.
You could see where at least 50% of the story is justified.
Yeah, exactly.
Not 100%. Maybe they stretched it just a tad bit because they were scared or delirious or hallucinating or whatever it could have been, or just enthralled in the moment kind of thing. But not 100% of it.
But I think the slit mouth woman, because it's apparently a Japanese demon. I know that demons and angels are real in my mind, you know what I'm saying? So maybe it was a Japanese demon that was attacking kids in the 70s, man. I don't know. But
to be fair, we're used to American culture, so Japanese culture
kind of iffy to me. I don't know anything about it.
It's a whole different ballgame from what we're used to. So I would say it's probably possible. Also people could be born with a defect where their mouth goes, You know what I'm saying?
True.
Maybe she got surgery.
And she was just a serial killer or something.
Yeah, she's just a serial killer that smiles. We're crazy.
And so, speaking of international legends, we got our first, I guess that one was kind of supernatural, but we got our first, truly supernatural one here, and it's La Llorona. I'm sure you've heard, they made a whole, Conjuring movie about it. And so, basically, the origins in Mexico and, southwestern United States. And this one's the oldest one so far, from what I understand. The oral traditions of this started in the 16th century. And it actually, had earlier, roots in Aztec culture.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So, essentially, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, but I'm going to go over it for anybody who may not. It's a ghostly woman who drowned her children in a river and now mourns for them, wandering and crying, "Oh, my children," in Spanish, and she said to kidnap or curse children who wander too close to the water at night. So, one, I just want to say, creepy ass story.
Oh, it's a creepy ass story.
That would scare me if I was a Hispanic child living near where this story originated.
I would never go near the water in my entire life.
I would be I'm not swimming, cuz I'm a non-aquatic creature.
I'd be a landlocked creature, bro. You would not catch me near a bowl of cereal.
You
wouldn't catch me near soup. Water,
I ain't taking a bath either, bro.
I ain't drinking.
Showers
you know
only.
what? You know what? I ain't drinking, gang. I'm not. I'm
dehydrated.
I'm dehydrating. You're gonna have to stick an IV bag in my arm. You know what? At that point, that's stretching it. I'm gonna have to shower up real quick. That's about it.
And so the curse of La Llorona, honestly, I don't know if it's real or not, man. I don't know. This one for me.
See, there's also it could be true because in 1600s that story could have got muddled around, but I think it could be true. Because a ghostly woman dragging people under the water because her kids got drowned. You said she drowned her kids? Or her kids
she drowned her kids.
She drowned her kids? I mean, that would make sense if she wants to drown more kids. She would go off and probably hunt down kids by themselves near the water. That's kind of almost like a Jason Voorhees kind of thing. You know
I think it may be a story that's true where a woman really did drown her kids back then and somebody witnessed it and maybe, because I believe in spirits. I believe in the possibility of ghosts and everything. Like I've talked about before on the podcast, I've had my own experiences with that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's very possible that a vengeful spirit or a mourning spirit, but it's weird to me, mourning for your own actions. You killed them, but now you're mourning their death.
She killed them, but now she's mourning their deaths by killing more?
Yeah, I don't... that part of that story has always been confusing.
That probably got muddled.
Yeah, maybe even she didn't kill her kids.
Yeah, maybe she didn't kill them. Maybe she tried to save them.
They were drowning and somebody saw her, trying to pull them out.
Yeah, maybe she couldn't swim that well and it looked like she was trying to, drown them.
Or even a crazier theory here. Imagine, she was going to save her kids, right, to something was pulling them into the water, and that spirit took over her form.
Maybe it possessed her because she went into the wrong water.
Yeah, so maybe
maybe there was before this story, maybe there was a different story, where people, if they went into that specific water as a kid, they would get possessed and they wouldn't be able to come out the water. And maybe she was trying to get out of the water, you can't be in that water. Because this was back in the 1600s. People would believe, you tell a story, people would believe it. Because there's no internet, there's no social media. You had to go actively talk to somebody if you didn't believe something.
True.
And kids are extremely gullible by nature because they don't know anything. So they would believe a story if you tell them.
You're very right about that.
And also, people back in then, they would deceive kids by telling them, hey, go swim in that water. There's nothing wrong with swimming in that water.
Well, it's even true now, and I feel like it's always been true, kids are naturally, susceptible to adults telling them something and them just running with it.
Yes.
It's very common.
Because
you have a little sister,
kids naturally trust older people. They naturally trust
your instincts and your guidance so that, even, don't want to get off topic, but, again, behavioral things, your kids definitely, if you're a parent, man, your kids definitely pick up off a lot of your behavior.
Every single thing you do.
Hey, man, be careful with that. That's all I got to say on that.
Another theory I had on that, though, maybe somebody told her to let her kids swim in the water because of like some religious thing. Maybe they thought it was like a positively religious thing. Or maybe she was also trying to save her kids and somebody muddled the story by saying that she tried to drown her kids.
Well, yeah. I mean, very possible. I mean, think about it. It's a 16th century, like, Latin America. So I don't know exactly what life was like for them back then over there, but I imagine it was probably very primitive, much like the United States was really at that time still.
Yeah.
Like very basic.
It was very basic life.
So things like that probably did get spread around a lot, and it would be something that would interest a kid to try because they were probably very bored back then. We're always outside looking for an adventure.
Yeah, they were outside almost 24 hours a day because even if they did go to sleep, they were still outside.
So, I mean, the story is very believable. I mean, it just, I think, comes down to whether you believe in the spiritual part of it or not. But I think the basic story of a woman either drowning or being mistaken for drowning her children, I think that's definitely happened and definitely where the story comes from.
I think it absolutely could have happened. Oh, yeah. In some degree, I think it absolutely could have
happened. So this is the first one that I actually have never heard of. I don't even know what this is, so I'm kind of excited for it. Okay. The Green Man, a.k.a. Charlie No Face. And apparently it's first mentioned in the 20th century, like mid-20th century, so like I guess around the same time frame, like 1950s to 1970s-ish. And it originated in Pennsylvania. Shout out 302 Walk.
Shout out PA.
But a glowing green figure seen walking the roads at night, based on a real man named Raymond Robinson, who was severely disfigured in an electrical accident and would take solitary nighttime walks to avoid public reaction. So, to me, this one just told me, like, off the explanation of it, what the true story is, and people just ran with it.
People just ran
like it was a man that had, suffered an unfortunate accident.
He suffered a terrible accident and got as far away from people as he could, and people just ran with that.
And naturally, people take anything that looks out of place and want to make a story out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like somebody running in the woods and thinking it's Bigfoot or something, or they see like a shadow in the woods.
Oh, okay. So just that one's a pretty cold case. So I just want to, now that you mentioned Bigfoot, that's an urban legend. That's one of the big ones.
That's probably the biggest.
And the only reason I didn't want to mention it is because I actually had a conversation about it earlier today, but I think my take on it may surprise a lot of people. Bigfoot is one of the only urban legends that I wholeheartedly believe is not true. And let me explain why. Because for it to be true, there would have to be I'm gonna have to try to say this correctly. A Gigantopithecus. Gigantopithecus, okay? The largest ape to ever live. But you know what? Them hoes been dead millions and millions of years. And so what I'm saying is Bigfoot was real, okay? It was a real species, but the hoe is dead. You know what I'm saying?
And
like that.
There's also no way it could still be alive.
No, that animal
unless it lived in a cave for like millions of years.
Yeah.
Now maybe a couple hundred years. Mm-hmm. But millions of years?
Megafaunal creatures like that, there's a reason they're not on the Earth no more. Our atmosphere, our world is not built for them to survive anymore.
It's completely flopped since when they've been. So they were huge creatures. I mean, we were the size of like their foot or their leg. There's no way they could have survived anymore. There's not enough to go around anymore.
A human standing beside a model of one of them, I think the head of a human comes to like about the very bottom of their like abdomen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So way.
They were big.
And their appetite would have been insane. They would have ate like 2 or 3 times the amount we would. Like in a meal, they probably would have ate 2 or 3 times the amount we do in a day.
Yeah, I think if there was a Bigfoot creature like a Gigantopithecus still out there, I think low-key we would have known by now. Like, I think all these shows that go out and like finding Bigfoot.
Yeah, like you got
mountain monsters.
Even indirectly, like the swamp people who go out and catch fish in the river.
True.
You got Duck Dynasty. They go out and do a whole bunch of stuff out just in the wilderness. You got river monsters. You got like what you were saying, people who go out and search for Bigfoot, like finding Bigfoot. There's a whole bunch of those Bigfoot.
They go in the Appalachian Mountains in search of Bigfoot, and nobody's ever really came up with anything other than like blurry images that most of them have been
shadowy figures,
proven to be fake or photoshopped or edited, whatever. I mean, because the most iconic picture of Bigfoot was proven to literally just be a guy in a suit. And Bigfoot is one of those
guy in the suit.
Those ones that I wanted to believe. Like, I really wanted it to be true. I used to watch all the shows, used to love hearing about it, but it's not realistic to me just because I know that there was a real Bigfoot at one time.
Yeah.
It's
millions
like
of
it
years
was
ago,
already
there was something
a
that
thing.
looked like Bigfoot, and also Sasquatch. Is Sasquatch the same thing as Bigfoot, or is that something different?
Sasquatch is the same as Bigfoot. Now, there is the Yeti, which is something that I think could possibly be true.
Still be true because a lot of frozen places are still frozen.
Yes, and there's a big portion of the Arctic that we humans just don't ever go to because it's so harsh. So I'm not saying I think that there's a Yeti creature, basically an ice Bigfoot, but damn it, there could be, you know what I mean?
The Yeti was bigger than Bigfoot. It was like 4 or 5 times the size of Bigfoot because of where it lived.
Oh yeah, is that I don't have any information.
I don't think there's any credible information on the Yeti. I don't think there is.
Well, I don't even know where the story came. I think that originated just from people like doing expeditions out in the Arctic or like.
I think it was mainly indigenous people, like Eskimos living there, and then they travel over here because they got scared of that. They got scared of like stories when they grew up. Like they grew up in that indigenous area, and then as they got older, they got tired of hearing those stories because it scared them, and then they moved to less remote areas of the Arctic. And also in the Arctic, the reason why we haven't discovered most of it is because it's frozen over most of the year. You can't travel through that.
One thing I love about the Arctic, and this is like off topic, but kind of on topic for urban legends, because a lot of creatures that people at one point thought were urban legends, like the woolly mammoth, like a lot of people when they first heard about that were
people
like,
genuinely thought that was urban legend.
But we found literal like frozen woolly mammoths in the Arctic tundra, which is dope to me. Shout out to
that is dope.
Colossal Biosciences, I believe, is the company that is working to like bring them back because they already brought back the dire wolves, and that was like a huge thing. But Yeti possible, Bigfoot no. But so the next one I have here, I think I've heard of this, but honestly I don't know. And it's called the Choking Doberman. Okay,
the Choking Doberman,
and it was first mentioned in the 1980s. In the United States, California is like, I guess, where it's mainly tied to. But the legend is a couple returns home to find their Doberman choking. At the vet, it's discovered the dog has human fingers in its throat.
What?
Police later find a burglar unconscious in their home, missing several fingers. Motherfucker, if this hasn't happened, I would be shocked.
There's no way it happened. What time area did you say this was?
Like the 80s.
Yeah, that was like peak. That was like peak of break-ins.
You were talking about drugs earlier.
Drugs.
The 80s was when they were peak.
Drugs. No security cameras yet. I don't think there was security cameras in the 80s yet. If there was,
they weren't terrible.
They weren't like as big. You
ain't had no Ring camera back then.
No, you ain't had no Ring camera. And the only security cameras they probably had were on big businesses. And they were doo-doo, like literally pixels. Like say if we were 50,000 feet back there, you wouldn't be able to tell.
So basically
50,000 feet. But like if we were right here, you wouldn't be able to tell. Like you wouldn't be able to tell us.
People's dogs basically were their like alarm systems and stuff back then. So honestly, bro, I wouldn't be shocked if this still don't happen daily now, where a dog like attacks somebody and possibly leaves them injured until the people get home or the police search the crib.
Well, who knows if they were doing some illegal stuff with their dog, like sharpening his teeth or something. Who knows, bro? They might have been putting some files on that teeth.
Man, you don't even got to. A dog can easily bite some fingers off.
But they could have also been feeding that dog raw meat. And if that dog is used to eating raw meat and a burglar comes in, tries to get near the dog, and he maybe think it's food.
I mean, you think they was prepping like that?
They might have been prepping. They might have been robber prepping. But there's no way that's not true. There's genuinely no way that's not true.
So this one is like, I don't even know if this is an urban legend either. I think this is but it started as an urban legend, but I think this is definitely true too. Like the kidney heist idea. Like basically where a traveler seduced or drugged and wakes up in a bathtub full of ice with a note warning, call 911 immediately and discover one of their kidneys has been surgically removed.
I think I've heard of this like 10 times in different scenarios.
Yeah, bro.
There's no way that's not true. People who are doctors that go crazy or something and then they get fired from their practice because of doing something crazy, they'll just go and, well, at least back in those days, they'll go and steal people's kidneys because they already know how to take them out. And kidneys aren't the hardest thing to take out as far as I know.
Because this shit originated in like Las Vegas or New Orleans, depending on which story you look at, but the Vegas populated one is very believable. In the New Orleans one's very believable. And I'll tell you why. Vegas, because of the traffic through there, the tourism. Like, there's a lot of people that get very drunk, very stoned, whatever they're doing, go spend a bunch of money, get hopped up on adrenaline. They meet a handsome doctor at the casino, take them back up to their room after a couple glasses of wine or whatever they're drinking on, you know what I'm saying? And it's pretty easy for them to just fall asleep after, you know.
It's almost like a American Psycho Patrick Bateman scenario, you know what I'm saying? You get dragged back. Well, he wasn't really dragging people back. He was more or less, well, I don't remember exactly what he was doing in the movie, but either way, he was still, you know what I'm saying? He was brutally doing it too. But either way, he doesn't have to go to that extent to get that. I mean, it's a kidney. You know, you
don't even got to kill him. Like
literally, you could have just slipped some sleeping pills into a drink, and then they're out. Or he could slip some morphine into it. They wouldn't feel a damn thing.
Well, I guess what they do is like give them some type of general or local anesthetic, and then like they're just knocked out, get their kidney taken, and then because I mean, bro, I feel like I've actually heard of this really happening on like news articles and stuff.
I feel like I've genuinely heard this in real life. Maybe not even around our area.
No, probably not.
Probably close. Well, I mean, New Orleans is pretty close.
Here, I wouldn't be shocked if things like that hadn't happened around here, just because how would we know about it? Unless they caught the people, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, after so many times, people go out and they're like, well, who'd you go out with last night? I mean, that's pretty much already justified. I mean, and if you get caught on a security camera going with that person or the hotel, they could have gave a fake name. They could have gave this. Or like, well, and if you have surgical equipment, there's got to be prints in the surgical equipment, or there's got to be, you know, something in the trash can or some hairs or whatever the hell. You know, I'm not a detective, but I kind of wish I was.
That would be pretty cool. But... So what do you think about, like, I don't have any more, like, information pulled up on any, but just some I can think of off top. Like, what about the Goat Man from New Jersey?
The Goat Man from New Jersey? I think, isn't that the one where people think it's a half man, half goat?
Yeah,
running around the mountains.
Yeah,
I think in New Jersey, bro. I think someone's probably got their legs inside of a goat costume.
Oh my god!
Because you know, like the whole Jersey Shore. You've seen like the Jersey Shore
Snooki
people.
and Mikey D.
Yeah, there's definitely got to be some like, I want you to take a picture of me. I want you to put me on the news, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. People probably do it for publicity, but I think it's definitely.
So you think the Goat Man's just somebody like? Well, I think it started back in the 90s or something, maybe. But yeah, it's basically like the Goat Man Bridge. Like, that's a bridge in New Jersey. So there's the Rabbit Bridge, or the Bunny Man Bridge, the Goat Man Bridge. And then another man, speaking of the man dem, we got Mothman. Which, okay, I have a story about that. I don't have a personal one. Or actually, I can't remember if Nick already told this on his podcast episode, so I'll just be brief with it. But basically, his dad... going to work one morning, apparently saw Mothman, and this is right on the corner of the street we're currently recording this on.
Whoa!
He apparently saw Mothman like sitting on top of a tree, and then when he like came outside, like there was a big whoosh, and it shook the like power pole, and like the tree was violently like shaking, and it was so. And here's the thing. terror birds are extinct. So tell me something else. Pterodactyls are extinct. So tell me something else that is that big that can make that big of like a whoosh fly.
A giant bat, maybe?
No,
but there's
no way.
Dude, that's crazy.
And see,
no, you would catch me stomping that pedal until I flew into a tree, bro. There's no way.
Oh, he hadn't even came outside. Like, he was about to go get in his car. Like, he looked out the window and
no,
seen
sir,
this.
I'm going back to bed. I'm
I'm calling in, like, Mothman's in my front yard,
Mothman just shook the house, gang. I am not going to work.
Like, I need a bereavement day for myself.
I need a sick day because I feel ill.
But no, like... Yeah, it's like I'm about to die of cardiac arrest. I need bereavement for my own funeral.
I think I just had 6 heart attacks. We gonna have to get like 6 sick days. All right, this is bad.
But no, bro. Like I mean, that's one of the things where that's a full-grown man has no reason to lie about that.
No,
like, and I know him.
Big old thing on a tree, and
like, he's a serious guy. And my homie that told me this said when his dad told him about this, he was genuinely like scared. And he don't really ever have that type of demeanor. So I feel like if he was genuinely scared, shooken up by just telling the story, it's probably like something actually happened. So, and it kind of creeps me out that I live like right over here next to where this allegedly happened.
How do you mistake that? What could that be?
What could it be?
Shake the power poles?
We don't have that big of birds around here. And
what big a bird is that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, the largest bird alive right now are the non-avian ones. Like, they don't even fly. Like your flamingos, ostrich, like...
You got ostriches and emus. That's like the biggest bird that I know.
Yeah, because literally
they can't fly.
And even a terror bird as huge as they were...
They didn't fly either. They were bipedal.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Terror birds had a beak and they were bipedal and they stabbed stuff to kill it.
That's right. They didn't even fly. So, like, dude, it had to be...
The biggest bird... there was pterodactyls, Argentavises, tapiaras, and those were all like pterodactyls,
dinosaurs and stuff.
Pterodactyls and tapiaras were both reptile avians, so they had no feathers or nothing. So they wouldn't have made they would have made like a slight.
Well, and there's just no shot.
And they were smaller. They were smaller, so they would have died as the temperatures got colder in certain areas.
Well, yeah, my theory on how the dinosaurs went extinct is those were probably the last ones to go, but they probably got just burnt out by how hot the atmosphere got. You know what I mean?
Dude. Like, reptiles can survive, but they were reptile avians, so if they couldn't migrate anywhere, they died.
There was really nowhere to land because like the world was basically on fire.
It was literally scorching on fire. Pretty much everything was magma.
Yeah, back then, but.
And when the volcanoes and stuff erupted after the fact, it got even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And the Argentavis, like I told you, it's like basically like a giant hawk. It's covered in feathers. As soon as it landed, it would have.
Well, I think some of the biggest like flying animals, probably like the Haast eagle that was alive in Australia. But I mean, that thing's been extinct.
To be fair, that's also Australia, so there's no way.
Well, yeah, even if they were still alive, it's like, yeah. So I think Mothman, dude, like, for sure. You got any you can think of just off the top?
I was going to say the Kraken, dude.
Oh.
And yeah, there's no way that's not true.
I think the Kraken was mistaken for a colossal squid because that's a real
thing, that's what it is. It's a gigantic squid the size of like a galleon, but like 5 times the size of a galleon to where it could literally do this to a ship the size of, like, say my head is the ship and this thing is doing this and pulling that ship to the bottom of the ocean. And that thing is just devouring wood.
I don't think that there's anything big enough to pull down like a Carnival cruise, but if you're talking like a yacht even or like a...
Oh, no, that thing could have probably pulled down a cruise ship. But then again, if something is that big, there's no way it could have lived through that long.
Yeah, but colossal squid, if I'm not mistaken... Or maybe there is giant squid still alive.
There's still giant squid, but they had to come from something.
I'm pretty sure they found, like, isn't the colossal squid, like, hold on. I'm going to do a quick fact check real quick.
Okay, while he does that, I got another thing about the Kraken. There's no way that thing is not, there's no way that thing is not a real urban legend. Because if sailors tell the story, it's got to be true, right? Because they told the story about Moby Dick, the biggest whale ever like to exist, and that thing was the size of like I don't even know how to compare it. Like if you put multiple yachts together, that's how much it would. That's how long it would be. It was like a couple 100 feet or like a couple 1,000 feet or something like that. And there was multiple recorded attempts of it getting almost caught, like harpooned and shot down, and people were shooting it with cannonballs and harpoons, and there was even multiple like pieces of the whale that people had gotten on their harpoon, and they took it in, and it's like, yeah, this is a whale, and then we'd have no recorded evidence of that whale still being alive. Like,
so
there's no way.
So
and people
basically,
had shot at the Kraken too. Like they would put their own bullets into it, they put their own cannonballs into it, but it wouldn't do anything. And there was ship logs that had been recovered where they had found. Well, they started to write giant squid was taking, and then they just died.
So basically, the Kraken. So the Kraken is a completely, because basically here it says that a colossal squid is actually slightly smaller than a giant squid, but they are both still alive. But the colossal squid actually has never been observed in its natural habitat. Like the only time we ever
It'll be outside of its
see
habitat.
them is if you accidentally catch one in a net. But the Kraken was apparently is said to be 1.5 miles in circumference to the length of 10 ships. So yeah, if that thing was really out there, man, it could cause some damage.
And like as the tectonic plates and stuff moved, it probably died because there was nowhere else for it to sit. It might have been sitting in like a Mariana Trench style place. That would probably be the only. I mean,
that would
probably be the only place.
You know
I
how
would think.
huge a 10 ships? That's a big
1.5 miles
animal.
circumference is
Like,
crazy.
But the thing is, if this ever did exist, like, how the fuck have we not found its like?
It probably
fossils?
Decayed.
But there should be some type
It
of
might
fossil
be.
evidence.
It might be at the bottom where we can't dig.
Bro, imagine at the bottom of the Mariana Trench.
The
There's
bottom of the
just
Mariana
bones
Trench.
of,
There's
like
like
a massive.
there's
like,
giant
whoa.
bone. Oh no, dude.
Dude, that gives me colossophobia. Ain't that what it's called?
Yeah, it's like
hell no.
ortholassophobia,
Like, you know-
where you get the fear of the ocean.
Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know them AI videos where they have like the eye coming up
Yes,
out of
the
the
eye.
ocean? Oh, hell
Or you see the
no.
eye in the bottom, like it's peering off the side of the ship, and there's the eye. Oh no!
Mm-mm,
No,
bro,
no.
that's just crazy.
Leave in the comments if you guys have like either thalassophobia or that colossophobia.
But it says
No.
that a giant squid can get up to 43 feet. So, I mean, that's still
43
quite
feet
a
is crazy.
large
That's a
animal,
house.
dog.
For some, I mean that's some houses. Is that just the body or is it the tentacles too? Because if that's the body, if that's just the body, and then you're adding on the tentacles, bro, that's like 60-something feet of squid. Like, who eating all that squid? First of all, leave in the comments if you like squid, because that does not sound good. I can't eat shellfish. I can't eat seafood. So let me know if
Well,
that's
see, people think that the Kraken was just inspired by the giant squid, basically. But my thing is, I feel like you might be right. Like, there could have been a true Kraken. I don't think it still exists anymore.
Well, it's also like one of those prehistoric creatures. It would have had to have stuff to eat on, and once its stuff to eat on died, it would have died itself.
True, but do you think it would have still been around, like, when people were around, though? Is the thing.
No, because the water changed temperatures too.
Exactly. So I don't know how.
Because the water went up to boiling temperatures when the Earth got hot. Like the water got past boiling temperatures, and I think the oceans almost evaporated. I mean, not the oceans didn't evaporate, but they changed. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but the oceans
They
probably
heated
changed.
up, though, for
they
sure.
they
yeah.
probably changed viscosity too. So if something was that big, it probably couldn't move as well.
See, just to like go over a couple extinct animals, because I mean, I think we'll probably wrap it up here in a minute. But just while we're on this topic, because I love this topic,
This
dude.
topic is great.
They're like the megafauna we used to have is absolutely insane. Like
It's
there was basically
crazy.
a giant version of everything. Now I don't remember if we talked about this before on here, but I don't even care because it's like super interesting to me. But like, bro, there was a fucking giant beaver back in the day that they said
Asteroids,
apparently
yeah.
like made the Great Lakes or helped form them. There was
That's cool.
there was like giant kangaroos at one
The
point.
Procoptodons.
Is that what they were called?
Yeah.
And then
The Castoroids were the giant beavers.
and then there was like obviously the megalodon, which is still crazy to me that was a real.
Some
creature.
people still think that those things exist.
See, I think for the same reason the other animals can't live.
I just think there's not enough sustainability for them to live.
We would have definitely been able to capture like some type of evidence of them still living because they were not deep water dwelling.
These
creatures,
were like shallow to medium depth creatures.
which is also
Shade,
wild.
this is the surface of the ocean, right? They were probably like right down here.
Because imagine a like 40, 50 foot shark and you're surfing. Like, dude, I would never get in the water
what?
again if I escaped that.
You wouldn't be able to get out of the water, bro. That thing is coming up, bro. You're literally this tiny, like the speck of my finger, and this is its jaw, bro.
Dude, that
like,
gives me like
that is crazy. Bro. And then also with the Kraken, there's no way it could have survived. Like there's just no genuine way.
When I mean like Gigantopithecus, I mean that thing definitely died because of the climate change. I mean, there was a giant land sloth that had like massive claws, and it was slow like a modern sloth.
Yeah,
but it could like swipe at you and kill you in an instant.
There's the Chalicotheriums, and then there's the Megatheriums. Those are both in the same family.
When the hell did you study up on all these scientific?
I love dinosaurs, bro.
See, these aren't even dinosaurs though. Like you just got all.
I mean, they're prehistoric.
See, I watch videos on this all the time, but I can't always remember the scientific.
Now they have longer scientific names. That's just like a chopped up version of the scientific name. I also play Ark, and they use the actual relative terms.
Oh yeah, huh? There was like the Thylacine, which is one that people think is still alive. It could be still alive. The Thylacine.
What is that?
Basically, like a dingo type creature from Australia. That
thing's probably anything in Australia. I believe, bro. Australia used to be a prison country, and they probably put them there to literally torture them with prehistoric creatures.
Well, I mean, there's footage of the Thylacine. Like it lived as recent as I think like the 1890s. I could be wrong, but that is around back when cameras were first like.
Dude, that's actually kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like the first. A prehistoric image on the first camera. That's kind of cool. Like you got the last of its kind and then the first of its kind meeting at the same time.
That is really like technology meeting. I mean, it's just like people said Jimmy Carter lived to see the Great Depression and Ice Spice in the same lifetime.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean? Like that's pretty.
Yeah, wasn't he born in the Great Depression?
I think so.
That's so
because he's born in because he died at like almost 100 or at 100.
God.
So yeah, he had to be born in the 20s.
The Great Depression and Ice Spice in the same generation.
That is crazy, dude. Imagine like I hope I get to experience that much life.
Yeah, but what are we going to experience?
God, actually, I don't know if I do or not.
But I guess our generation, we would experience not 9/11. What's the
COVID.
biggest?
COVID is the biggest thing.
Well, was there anything before that?
I mean the 2008 recession, but we were all too young to care about that.
We were like 3.
So
I guess either that or storms or something. But storms, I mean, they weren't.
I mean, the 2011 storms were a good local event, or not good, but like a big. But that's not really like something that everybody.
They were a prioritized local event, but they weren't like COVID. COVID was like an international, worldwide event that everyone knew about.
Oh, in the Cretaceous period, there was like, before there was even land animals, like when the world was basically all sea, there was this like fucking massive like Cretacean type creature that like looked almost like a, I have to show you a picture of
like
it
a
later.
shell?
Yeah, but it's like a big shell with these, but it was so weirdly shaped.
Like tentacles coming out the front of it?
Yeah.
It's called like an ammonite. Basically.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, you schooling me on this, bro.
It's like a shellfish with almost like squid-like tendency. It's like a hermit crab, but
they were
devolved
massive.
as shit.
Like they were.
Oh yeah, they're
like,
fucking massive.
They were bigger than.
The crazy thing is, they don't even like. I don't even know how they eat. They got like a mouth in the middle or something like that, but their digestive system, they were stupid creatures.
Oh, and the short-faced bear. Oh, that would have been that dude. There was a time in history
like a flat face
where land was separated between this this patch of land you had to cross, right? And the short-faced bears were all throughout there. So you basically, bro, I feel so bad for our ancestors. Like, shout out whoever the hell
short-faced bear or a saber-toothed cat to carry on my lineage.
Saber-toothed tigers, bro. Imagine the teeth being like that long coming out the jaw, and you just get, bro, it gets your leg. What are you doing, bro? That's like your whole femur coming at you, coming out the top of their mouth. Like, and that's their bite force pulling your leg into the tooth. It's like, bro, you're cooked.
In the underwater dinosaurs, like the mosasaurs and the plesiosaurs.
Bro, mosasaurs were the size of like 70
they were like the
buses.
size of whales, bro.
No, bro. They were bigger than krakens.
No.
Like, if you laid this shit down, I'm not kidding, bro. I'm not kidding.
I've watched
mosasaur is like a giant tadpole, basically.
Well, yeah, but like
because the fin is this way. It's not. The fin is this way, and they swim like this. That's why they swam so fast. It wasn't like a whale. A whale goes up and down.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying in size, they were about like a whale. Because the whale is still
maybe like 2 blue whales or 3 blue, because they're also prehistoric creatures.
The blue whale was considered.
Isn't the blue whale like one of the only?
It's still
or like not prehistoric, but like close to prehistoric underwater creatures we still have.
I mean, I believe so. Well, that and even like a lot of porpoises and sharks and things. I mean, they were all kind of came about the same time. But the blue whale is apparently, from what we found so far, the biggest animal to ever live. Like, it's still around and it's the biggest one ever.
Definitely the biggest animal ever living.
So, according to scientific estimates, which we really don't know, I mean, the validity of that is hearsay. I mean, you could, if the society of the world makes it another 1,000 years, we may find out some of these creatures were way smaller or way larger than we originally thought.
Imagine it's the opposite, and in the prehistoric times they were tiny instead of being huge.
Well, no, because the bones we found, I mean, they would have to be like...
Their ancestors planted them, they made them.
Yeah.
No, it was...
It's like they were tricking us. They knew we were going to come looking.
They knew they were going to come looking.
But yeah, the mosasaur, I think, was about on par with whales, but I don't think... You still got to think about it, though. Whales are not meat-eating, like, they're not violent creatures.
They just...
The mosasaur was coming for anything and everything. Like, mosasaurs probably fought with... Or I don't remember if Megalodon and Mosasaur were around at the same time.
Well, mosasaurs were deep sea creatures, and they would come up and eat shit.
Yeah.
And they would go back down, digest, and then come up and eat shit and get air. Because I think they were also air-breathing creatures, but I could be wrong about that. No, not air-breathing creatures. They could have been like partially hybrid, like dolphins are. They don't need to breathe air all the time, but they need to come up every once in a while.
I think maybe they breached. I don't think they have any way to know.
Also think. They're big as shit. So, like, when I say come up every once in a while, I mean, like, they might have to come up every month.
Yeah. Maybe.
And these are, like, the size of islands, like, small islands. So, they come up every month, and, like, it's some Neanderthal back in the day. I mean, that's what they're called. Neanderthals back in the day. They're like, oh, my God, what is that? And then it disappears. Like,
well, no, Neanderthals were, like, way, way after the Mosasaur, though. Because Mosasaurs were around in, like, the Jurassic period. And then the original Homo genus didn't actually come about until like way later on. And it was also in Africa, which didn't have any water at the time, for real.
Yeah, because that's where I forget what that place, I forget what it's called. But
see, I was talking to somebody, this is a good like whole podcast topic for one of these days. But I was talking actually at work today with somebody about how I believe in Christianity and evolution at the same time.
I believe that evolution was going for so long, and then people stopped believing in evolution, so then they had to make religion to keep people together.
Well, the thing is, we didn't evolve from the monkeys that are around now. We evolved from previous Homo species. I mean, there's literally bone evidence of these species. Like, they were real, and we found, like, evidence to suggest that some Neanderthals even practiced religion and, like... So, I mean, the thing is...
Religion's always been a thing.
You can't tell me that, like, as somebody that believes that God created everything, and I do... But I don't believe that we're the only thing that God ever created. Because I think the 7 days of creation was really like millions of years. And that's where people get confused with thinking. Because time is a man-made concept. We made time. God's time is a completely different spectrum that we can't even comprehend. So, I mean, yeah, basically what I'm saying is two things can be true at the same time. Like, regardless of what you believe, I think there's enough evidence to prove that there were previous Homo species, and we are simply a final evolution, or not even final, probably, but
we're a piece of the
advanced
pathway.
evolution into.
Oh yeah.
And I mean,
And hell, who knows? 70 million years from now, they'll be even more developed.
Yeah.
Because back then, that was like a base. That was like a base model of where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
They were like the very introduction to see if we could even develop from that.
Well, we were ape-like, what I mean. In the beginning, we behaved very much like true animals, and then civilization built as our brains started getting more developed, and we learned language, and we learned, crafting, learned trading, learned how to build structures. Because I mean, even some Neanderthals. Or I don't know if it was the Neanderthals or the ones that came after them.
Homo sapiens, or was it?
Well, no, we're Homo sapiens. So, but either way, I think it was early Neanderthals. Like, they made tools and actually built, like, basic structures like huts and small homes and things like that. So, I mean, it's very believable to me that we did evolve from something like that, and we are simply just the aftermath of millions of years of
curiosity.
Yeah.
And I believe those little things like curiosity, imagination, creativity, they all developed way slower over the years. But then as time went on and they started having more things to look at that were developed by other humans before them, like people died, but those people who died built what they had in their lifetime. So maybe they only lived like 30, 40 years before they got snapped in half by a tree or something like that.
Yeah.
But as those kids grew up and the world wasn't as plastic as it is, or like as metallic, I should say, because if you're talking about the stages of creativity, metallic is more or less stuck, and unless you really, really try, there's not much you can do about it or change. Then you got plastic, where you can really do whatever you want to with it. And you got cloth, where you can do whatever you can write, break, bend, whatever you want to with it. As the world developed, or as they developed, they were born into, or they started at metallic. And then as they kept going, it kept going into plastic. And then they kept going. And now we're in like a cloth world, where you can pretty much use your free will to do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
But back then, they didn't really have the creativity and imagination to figure that out. So they had to develop into that.
I mean, yeah, man, it's very... Honestly, I think we should probably save this topic for like a whole podcast of its own, because I think the whole conversation of how like things have evolved over time is
how
like
things
very
started and
interesting.
how things became is I think I love that stuff.
But anyways, guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed this. I think it was a pretty successful episode. I definitely enjoyed being able to sit down and just, do a 2-person episode. We haven't done it in literally like basically since we started the damn thing. So hope you guys did enjoy it. Let us know if you want more of these like normal, just basic format, just me and Nick pick a topic and go with it. But we'll definitely get back next week. I'm very excited. We should, as long as nothing goes wrong, have an episode coming out with my cousin from Colorado. So he'll be able to give us some funny stories from his time being our age, and some things that he's learned along the way and everything else. So I hope you guys look forward to that, and I hope you like the quality upgrade with the camera. I'm going to get some microphones soon, so the audio is also crisp for you guys. And I really hope you enjoy all the content we come out with, even apart from this channel, because I plan on doing a lot the rest of this year and going into 2026. Love all you guys, man. Remember to be good people. Doing something, be good at it.
Hope you guys did enjoy.
Yes, sir.